Welcome, everybody. This is Logan Smith, aka Fetherlyt, along with...
Oh, I am Andrew. I am Ace McCloud 777. That's ACEMCLOUD. That's my Twitter handle and stuff. And I'm also on YouTube. Hi.
Yes. Links in the description and whatnot. So basically, we're doing a podcast now. After we have just watched the Xbox E3 conference.
Sure did.
I have to say, it looks like it's going to be a good year of gaming.
Games.
They
talked about games. That's the first thing.
Yep. First thing right off the bat, they only talked about games. No apps, no TV functions like they did last year, which, I'll admit, they kind of needed to. I'm not gonna lie. They did though, because it was Xbox One was just being released. They had to,
explain the other uses for it.
Yeah.
Well, that was the point. Like, right? What I remember reading about in Xbox is that they said with our 360, we found out that it was a ridiculous number. Like, only 40% of the use of a 360
was for games.
Yeah. And everyone else used to. So when they announced all this TV stuff, they were probably expecting, like, that's cool. Okay, I'll do that. Well, most people...
But instead, they got a negative feedback.
Everybody wanted to just see the games. No, because when a new system is announced, right, nobody cares about...
No.
They want to see the graphics. They want to see the difference, why they need a new system.
Yeah. Yeah, and in which case, it would be the games. It wouldn't be the apps or the social media or anything like that.
God, do I love my Kinect. If you have an Xbox One or you're getting one, get a Kinect if you feel like you're going to be using the anything else other than just games.
Especially now that they offer the Kinectless version for $100 cheaper. I mean, if you want an Xbox One and, you're not really a fan of the Kinect in the first place, go with that one. Save yourself $100. But from both of our experiences here, I'm sure I can say that you'll use the Kinect more than you honestly thought.
Absolutely.
Like, I'll admit, I never used the Kinect for the 360. However, the Kinect for the Xbox One, Kinect 2.0, is fantastic. Speaking to it, having it control your Xbox, all those functions. Not to mention, I have a Just Dance for the Kinect, and it responds fluidly compared to the previous version. Yeah.
Dude, can I borrow that? Sure. Okay, well, cool. You say that now, but this is proof documentation. Okay, no, but aside from that, definitely wondering. So I've listened to a lot of hubbub about like what's happening like at this E3 and what Microsoft needs to do, what it needs to happen, what needs to be announced for it to be like worth sitting through. And I think one of the expectations is all we wanted to see was just games, and we wanted to see a list of things that were coming out now and within this year with release dates, and then things to come.
Yeah, things to get
excited for. And that's exactly what they did. And I really think this is the year to get an Xbox One.
Oh, definitely.
If it is.
I mean, for those of us, who are big fans, get it early just to say that we got it and, get to grow used to it, get to experience it and whatnot. But it wasn't really, necessary.
I, for one, welcome our new overlords.
But seriously, though, like, after watching that conference, they've got good things going for them to convince people to go next gen now.
My thing is Halo and Conquer. That's the only reason you need to get an Xbox One, and only reason you should go out in the store right now and get one at Walmart.
Which we'll explain in a second.
So let's just go through the list of...
Yeah, start from beginning of the conference to the end.
Because I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you haven't, go check it out, or don't. I don't really care. You'll get the gist, essentially, what's happening, with highlights and, I don't know, IGN and stuff like that. I mean...
Yeah. So I guess first off, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the first Call of Duty game that Sledgehammer is going to be an integral part of.
Yeah.
They were a part of, I believe, Modern Warfare 3 and maybe a bit of 2.
They've had a lot of they've had 3 years, I think, to develop this game. They've been making it in the sense that they want to just have it where the future tech that maybe 5 years down the road is happening now, and that in the game. So it's not supposed to be sci-fi.
I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like,
exactly. It's a lot more sci-fi than I expected from the interviews and stuff I've read.
Right, but
it was pretty like, oh, okay.
But I mean, when you think about it, science fiction soon becomes science fact, and I'm sure that they did go through technologies that are in development within the military right now.
There were a lot of drones in that video.
Oh, good grief.
If you check out the video, there were a lot of flying little drones everywhere, and it felt really Battlefieldy. The single player.
It really looked like a Battlefield sort of game.
And that's
not
all
a
we
Call
got
of Duty game.
was the single player. We didn't get a glimpse of the multiplayer, which is what everyone plays anyway. So for those of you who do like the single player and excited about that, if you like Battlefield single player,
it'll definitely be refreshing.
Yeah, I was kind of impressed. Generally, the single player with Call of Duty, it's like
I played to get the achievements and to get used to multiplayer.
And there's some shocking thing that they always cross the boundaries on, like a family getting exploded by nuclear stuff or
whatever.
I don't know. Somebody you shoot your partner. Yeah, and this one, spoilers, you kill you die. It's almost you lose an arm, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, actually, two guys lose an arm in that
well,
cutscene.
no. The one guy got his arm stuck in the helicopter and he just exploded. And then it looks like...
You make it out better, huh?
Yeah, well, I guess. Oh, that's kind of symbolic.
What?
Your friend was caught by your arm and then you ended up losing an arm.
So what you're saying is, squad members, it's really like you feel their pain. Like,
I'm just saying, like
that's good.
That's good. Realized
he got his arm cut. So the whole time you're worried about his arm, and so there's that drama between pulling his arm out, you're gonna free him, oh crap, he's stuck, and then he just dies, and you couldn't get his arm off.
And you get this
shrapnel. The shrapnel
hits you. I thought it went in his chest at first, but I guess it just went through his arm.
Died. Yep.
Because then as his buddy's dragging him away, you see first-person view him dragging away, but your arm doesn't follow.
So for me personally, with my I have some extra money in my Microsoft account. I'm gonna get Advanced Warfare, but yeah, after that cutscene, I'd definitely give an arm and a leg for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my breath. As far as Call of Duty goes, the multiplayer is fun and whatnot, but it's getting kind of repetitive and kind of old. So really, the only really game part of any Call of Duty game that I've specifically bought the game for anymore has been with Treyarch Zombie mode.
Oh, speaking of which, they do have a third mode. They officially confirmed they have they didn't say what kind of mode. It's a third cooperative mode. That's all they said. So I'm sure it's going to be
like Spec Ops or something like that.
I'm sure you just get to play as a bunch of dogs running around people, or airplanes shooting people into shrapnel. Harmless. So the next game, really quick, it's Forza.
Forza Horizon 2, probably, one of the prettier looking games for the Xbox One, that's for sure.
If you're not a huge fan of driving simulators, that's what Forza generally has been known for. Mm-hmm. Last year they released
Forza Motorsport 5.
Yeah, and then the year before that, though, they had Forza Horizon, which was a open world, a little more definitely for casual gamers.
Yes,
someone like myself.
Because Forza Motorsport, is the series in itself, 1 through 5, is more based around like rally racing. It's not free roam or anything like that. You just drive around a track and that's it. Whereas Horizon, you've got an open world that you can drive in. Still races and stuff like that, but there's more freedom and liberty to it. So.
That's true. So they announced some DLC for Forza 5, which is the
German map.
Yep, a famous German racetrack,
which
100%.
100% captured down to the millimeter level, which I'm kind of curious about, but
I know
whatever.
And it's just like stupid, ridiculous.
Yeah.
I cannot believe they did it. And then that's available now, which I love when the people are just like, and you can get this right now. It makes me want to quit listening and just run out the door and go, Mom, I need Forza 5. I don't even play Forza 5. Whatever. And then, of course, with Forza Horizon 2, it's 1080p. They have instant servers, no waiting for your...
Yeah, I'm curious to see whether that actually works or not.
I can still... Like the one guy who takes it back to GameStop, huffing and puffing about how they had to wait a few seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And then, of course, you can bring your Drivatar from Forza 5 into... I don't care what a Drivatar is, because I don't play, but I love the fact that when there's a sequel to a game, or a spin-off, you can bring something... Your investment...
From the previous.
So I think that's always neat. That's out September 30th. The next game is called
Evolve. Oh my god.
Son of Cthulhu. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But they introduced a new play mechanic. It's Left 4 Dead
Yeah, from the creators of Left 4 Dead. Basically, if you've been living under a rock and have no idea what this game is,
God,
it's been everywhere. I'm not even kidding. But basically, what it is alien planet or your planet. I'm not really sure, but either way, there's aliens involved.
Yeah, I take offense. I don't know a single thing about Evolve, except that it's Left 4 Dead. So thank you for insulting me.
Anyways, so basically, there's four players on a team. There's like an assault medic, trapper, and a support class. So each one has their own functions when they're fighting this one monster. So basically, it's a 4v1 game mode. Each player being controlled by a human. So it's not like, 4 humans trying to capture this AI monster. No, it's 4v1.
That's the big kick.
And by the namesake of the game, you evolve. The monster evolves in progressions. Tier 1, he's really weak, and that's the hunter's time to get him. So the monster has to be pretty careful, otherwise otherwise the game can end pretty quickly.
That's cool.
Tier 2, they're about on even grounds. It could go either way at that point. Tier 3, the hunted becomes the hunter.
That's really cool.
So the monster is now after them, and they're just trying to get out of there alive.
I didn't know that. That's pretty awesome. The beta's coming out this fall.
Yes.
So I suppose I should just
excited
rock that out and see if I can get it.
Oh, heck yeah. You and me both, man.
I'd love
But yeah, then with the demo that came out today, or the screenshots, whatever, they released a new monster that looks like Cthulhu.
Straight up.
Yeah, whereas the previous one that they were
forms.
Yeah, the previous one they were demoing just looked like some sort of just standard hulking monster, whereas this one looked like a Cthulhu type monster, which was pretty interesting. Not to mention now the Trapper class seems to have like a pet support or something like that, which was not in any of the previous videos. So I'm wondering whether they finally fixed that mechanic, or whether they added that in last minute, or what, but it looks pretty interesting.
Definitely hinted at that. So, moving right along, and this is one of the ones I'm really excited about, actually. I want to make my friends that don't have an Xbox One get one just for this. So, Assassin's Creed has always been a big deal to me, and I've always been a huge fan of multiplayer, and I was really worried that multiplayer is dying out. It never was really popular, and so Assassin's Creed Unity, you play as Arnold Victor Dorian, and during the French Revolution, we saw a few things like running through windows was a thing.
Yeah, that was one thing I was actually pretty impressed with. They tried doing it in, I believe, Assassin's Creed 3. They didn't do it in 4. But where you could run through buildings to try to escape and stuff like that. But that was so scarce and far between that it was just like whatever. But this one, it looked like there was a lot more opportunities to go inside of buildings. Yep. Obviously, you probably won't be able to go into every freaking building.
No, I'm sure not.
But just the fact that it's more open.
And the gist for ACU for this particular demo was that you can form your own brotherhood with 4-player co-op. So
4-player campaign co-op. Like, it wasn't just hunt the target or anything kind of campaign or multiplayer mode. This looked like legit.
I don't know, the mission.
Campaign story.
It was a mission. It would be really cool if that's all it was just an entire campaign. You could play it single player, and you could have people drop in and out. People did drop in. You're right. I guess. God, that's so awesome.
Yeah, because it started out with just the one dude, and I mean, unless the other people were just waiting off in the wings, which I highly doubt.
Yeah, you're right. That's really great.
But I gotta say that the fluid, I made this mention of before. The fluidity of the gameplay just looked phenomenal. Like the free running. I mean, obviously, it's a game based around free running from the very beginning, so they've been able to work for this for a while, but the jump between 4 and Unity looks fantastic, and some of the combos you can do, and it just looks more lifelike. Like, instead of just repeating the same, 5 movements over and over, and then the same 10 combo kills or whatever, I don't think I saw a repeat of anything.
Oh, seriously? Yeah. I wasn't watching that hard. I was just...
like I said, that was the one thing that I was really impressed by.
Oh.
You were just freaking out about the co-op.
I like the co-op, and then I also like the flappy... cloth. Okay, so the prime problem with this is the one time they got it right. I have watched demo after demo of Assassin's Creed, and the character running, and the cloth always items splicing through the cloth and being jaggedy, and that cloth looked perfect in that demo. Because you spend hours playing this, seeing this guy's back. So it'd be nice if they could get it right. Wow, holy crap! Anyway, moving right along. Of course, you have Dragon Age Inquisition.
Neither of us are really that interested. We've dabbled in Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Just never really stuck.
A hardcore fan.
But you know,
huge into Bioware. So I mean, I love the stuff. It looks great. If you're into Dragon Age, I think this could be
looks fantastic.
A redeeming factor from like what the previous installment was. From the interviews I've read, they're just trying to rebuild it from the ground up.
Definitely check out the trailer because it looked, graphic-wise, it looked phenomenal. The gameplay looked pretty intense, so that definitely caught my eye, even though I wasn't.
I was pretty impressed with the fighting mechanics. They seem pretty like thick. Like Sunset Overdrive.
Oh my gosh.
Where do we begin?
That game.
They had traps and comic book styles, well, I mean, basically, you got the it looks like a freaking video game, right?
Yeah.
It's an arcade experience.
Like, which sounds stupid. It sounds like, it looks like, it is a video game. But
it looks like you'd play this to have fun.
Yeah. Like, the way that I described this earlier was that this game is doing to, like, the art style and, you know, the comic relief and stuff like that Borderlands did years ago.
Absolutely.
Introducing,
fringed on the serious but funny.
Yeah, definitely, because, you know, everybody back then was worried about, let's make our graphics look super realistic and whatnot. And here comes Borderlands with their cel-shaded art style and
this game looks incredible to boot. Like, I mean, it visually, it's
it's not
like this weird. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like this weird cel-shaded, but it is really good looking.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was just a single player campaign that we watched.
Yeah, we didn't see any sort of multiplayer yet.
It's a third-person shooter.
Which they did say they have a 8-person multiplayer, so that'll be pretty awesome if it's.
Did they say you could play as the monsters? Or no?
No, okay. Not for that one.
See,
but yeah,
there's just too many games. It did have a boss though at the end. That was.
I was excited to actually see, because I remember seeing the trailer, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't even really a trailer for Sunset Overdrive last year at E3.
No, I know, it was barely anything.
It was barely anything, and you saw the kaboom and stuff like that appear in the smoke clouds, and I was like,
toxic.
Are they actually gonna do that? Like
toxic
in the
energy drinks that turn people into monsters and zombies, and then the intro. You have bad people shooting at this like Battlefield character, and it's really intense. And all of a sudden, the Sunset Overdrive dude kicks the door down, and like
we were wondering what game this was. Yeah, it was like Battlefield Hardline or something like that.
And I thought it was like, it's the new Rainbow Six game, and no, it's Sunset Overdrive mocking them. He's like, you got a cover mechanic. Oh, that's cool. He just like slides around on rails, kills everybody, and then he kills all the bad guys, and the army dude's still alive, but like, oh my gosh, he's breathing hard, and Sunset Overdrive, the dude looks at him and he's like, what did he say to him? Something about
you and your crate are safe now.
Yeah, you and your crate are safe. Yeah, God, stupid, but great, and made by the guys who made Infamous, so it doesn't really surprise me.
No,
the 8x8 co-op. I saw like a bunny girl looking person and a buff dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like they're fully customizable
characters.
So kind of like Saints Row in that sort of sense, I'm imagining.
The Chaos Squad is the
name of that mode or whatever.
And that comes out October 28th.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I'm excited to see just how much they're going to introduce that comic book style with the boom and the Shazam and stuff like that, because. Yeah. When I was saying, when I saw that at E3 last year, I'm like, are they actually going to have that in-game, or are they just using that in this trailer to like be like, it's one of these kind of games, sort of just hinting that it's kind of like Borderlands, that it's fun and funny and it's going to have comedy and stuff like that. But when we saw the trailer today, the actual gameplay of it, there were several weapons that, like, there was this freeze gun where when you froze the enemies, it said "brrr," in blue icy letters, and then it started to crumble, and then this nuke went off, and it just had boom in the clouds. So
yeah, I think that'd be really surprising to see like how that actually pans out. It's coming out in a few months, so I suppose we'll find out. Also, the Dead Rising First off, didn't understand what was happening.
Well, let's just see here real quick what the Dead Rising 3. It's what is it even called? Oh,
they should just call it the Crazy.
Okay, here it is.
Oh, yeah. This will
Dead Rising 3. Let's see.
The DLC is called
Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha Prime.
So first off, Capcom's making fun of themselves.
Oh, definitely.
They're making fun of all the renditions of themselves in like Street Fighter and how they make Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4 Arcade.
Oh yeah, because I mean they were showing
Edition.
that you could cosplay as pretty much any Capcom character
it's
ever.
a 4-player co-op DLC that allows you to have customizable characters all through different Capcom people. So, but it's not like you can play as Chun-Li. It's you play as Frank dressed in Chun-Li's, which is just horrendous. But I'm really looking forward to this.
It's an arcade style. It's not you're gonna be your Dead Rising, going around the city killing zombies.
No, it's like Professor Genkai's DLC from Saints Row. It's really Saints Row 4.
It looked like it had multiple game modes where one was like a race, another was like Street Fighter, because this one dude, he was dressed as Ryu and he did a Hadouken, so...
Yeah, also, because it's Capcom's 31st...
yeah, they
it's not their 30th,
it's not their 30th, they missed that, so it's their 31st. With a TH.
Also, that DLC is available now?
Now, yeah, today, so...
So, if I had Dead Rising...
Dead Rising 3, go
I had no reason to buy Dead Rising 3, but now that I see his DLC, I want it. Yeah. Super bad. Of course... Oh, I saw Dino Crisis as one of the costumes, which just makes me go nuts, because that was original as an Xbox exclusive too. So...
I think hit these next 2 points and then take a break.
Let's just breeze through these. So, Fantasia Music Evolved. Harmonix announced Fantasia Music Evolved. The remix songs of Disney stuff, and they didn't show any gameplay.
No gameplay or even any trailer or anything like that. Just some information that it is coming out. So if you remember from years and years and years ago, Disney's Fantasia, which is basically orchestral music put to Disney characters and stuff like that.
If you don't know
it's a good
Dance Central
movie.
Spotlight is coming out exclusively as downloadable game.
Yeah, download only
for
first.
Xbox One. Another reason to have a Kinect if you like any dancing games. I'm kind of glad they didn't make discs. I hate putting discs in for Dance Central because I barely want to exercise anyway, and then I have to get up, put a disc in. It's ridiculous. Let's move on.
Go into dancing.
Yeah, Fable Legends looks great. Multiplayer beta's coming this holiday. 4-player co-op. Looks like Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Different
definitely.
classes
Whereas in the first, Fable, you could specialize in everything. Whereas this one, it looks like you're stuck.
You pick a pre-made character.
like I'm not sure because they said here's just a few of them. So there may be more. How many more? Whether it's 2 or 8 more, we don't know. But he said that there would be more, so it should be interesting.
Oh, right. And of course, they announced that you could play as the villain. Who orchestrates the levels.
Yeah, it's a kind of real-time strategy top-down.
Yes, an RTS within the third-person adventure game. It's very cool.
Yeah. Other than that, not much about that.
No, I don't think so. There's so much to wait and see for. The other one, the Project Spark, they touched on that just a little bit, not a whole lot.
Yeah, just sort of reminding us that it's
it's still a thing, and people should probably pay attention to it.
Which I will say, I've played some of the user-created content and haven't really dabbled much in the creative mode, but the user-creative content, good grief.
Some good stuff. Well, and they've done like a Linkin Park game. It was weird. They have some cool stuff, but
it's ridiculous what they're able to accomplish with that game.
So I assume they didn't announce anything except at the end of this Project Spark trailer, they had a chainsaw. So they showed a bunch of those ugly squirrels running
that
through for Project Spark. Yeah, one of the free dumb characters. And then they had one other squirrel walks in. It's Conker from Rare, because Rare now is owned by Microsoft, so they have the rights to Conker.
Yep.
Conker chainsaws through just like he did in the old N64 game. Chainsaws through the Project Spark logo. He goes, "Oh, whoops," or something dumb like that, and he's like, "Yeah, almost 10 years without a game." And he's like, "I guess that means you have to make one." And so Conker is now a playable character now in Project Spark. So I'm going to make a Conker game. Expect my announcement for that soon. Moving on, though, we got some other games.
Actually, I think we should take a break real quick.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, let's just touch on this last one, because we got just Ori and the Blind Forest. That's it.
Oh, right before... Okay, yeah, right before our big one, yeah.
Basically, it's just...
It looks...
hey, kids, did you like Limbo? Well, here's more Limbo.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of Limbo, not so dull on the color palette scale.
They added grays now.
Yeah, well, it had like blues and stuff like that, but
no, it looks great.
It was a very, very pretty looking game. Kind of like Limbo and Child of Light. It wasn't a strategy game. It just looked like a pretty standard platformer.
It was the company that made it. Oh shoot, I forgot what they're called. But they, what was it? It was something.
It was like Moon Studios or something.
No,
like
it was
that. No, it was Moon.
Play Dead Studios.
No, that was for the other one.
Oh, whatever.
That was for Inside, which we'll get to later.
Oh,
this one was like Moon Studios.
They're all
or 2D
side-scrolling stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break. I need to reset my head.